back in the day, the whole career advice thing was shit, Horta. That is
Yeah.
a fact. Yeah. It was non-existent. I remember when Connections. Remember Connections?
Yeah.
Connections was really good. The only. I'll tell you what. Like, there was no such thing as representation growing up, apart from one time
Exactly.
for me. So we all went Haverstock, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
So Haverstock back in the day, though it was a very diverse, like Camden Chalk Farm, bro, diverse. No one can chat shit. We were diverse. No one can be. All right, maybe there was a bit of racism back in the day. We've grown up with Castle Haven and that.
Bro,
With
are
some of
you
the
sure
Adala.
you lived in Camden? I'm shit.
Well,
Are
like,
you
but
sure
like,
you
you
lived
guys
in
are older than me,
Camden?
though. You guys are the ones that
I'm serious.
suffered
I've had, yeah.
Yeah,
on
we
our
It's
behalf.
different to you, like
it's
it's
true.
so
Yeah.
different. Bro.
Yeah, remember Mukhtar,
Guys,
he's a slightly younger, so like what is it?
exactly. So me, I'm just like coming at the back end of all the madness that you guys went through. It's just a remnants of madness. So see a couple of man that chat shit, they'll get banged up, you know. Whereas you guys were the major minorities. Me, I was the minority, but it was the after effect of getting banged up by old Marlies.
Yeah,
So we were just like
so
nailed to
don't
coffin.
forget, don't forget who cleared the road for you, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, well, like fact. But like, nah, but don't get twisted. There were a couple of times I had to put some. Wallah, I'm not gonna lie. And then after, and you know what it is with these people as well. After Halmar, the shit, that's it. No one chat shit after that. You know, you
Yeah.
just show them what time is one time, and then it is what it is. You know. So
Well, this
fucking
area was
cockroaches.
very different back in the day. Mo, you remember? It was full of. I don't want to go after certain
Yeah.
communities, but let's just say we were the minorities, and every day there was a fight. There was someone was getting rushed, and I remember one time. You know that black pub at the end of the road, Mo, opposite Nisa.
yeah.
I think you remember this day as well. I think I was like 14 or something. I'm just walking past the pub and onto the zebra crossing. These two white guys, they come out. They start shouting, "Oh, it's him! It's him!" It's complete bullshit. They just want a reason to chase and beat someone.
Yeah.
So obviously, I was like 14. These two grown men. I'm not gonna get into a fight. So I start running. I'm pretty confident they're not gonna catch me.
Yeah.
They never will.
Yeah.
At the end of the road, I'm running home. Yeah. There's this old man at the end of the road. I never thought in a million years. An old man. He's about to die. He's on his way out.
Yeah.
Old man is very old. He's got a walking stick. He's barely able to move.
Mm.
So, but I'll give him a lot of ratings though, because what he did, he was smart. Like, as I'm running past him, he tripped me up. He had nothing to do with it. He doesn't know what's going on, but he saw two white guys chasing a black guy. So he got involved. And he's on his way out. He's an old man, bro.
Yeah.
That was just a Tuesday, brother. An average day.
That's the old guard.
Yeah.
The old guard, isn't he? You know?
Yeah, I remember like the area was messed up back in the day. Like what is it? They used to I remember one white guy. I was playing football in the pitch, and suddenly, like a bunch of white kids just came into the pitch and say, "Move, we got this pitch." I said, "Abadan, if you're gonna take this pitch, what do you mean? I was here before you." That's what they do. They all rush me, and then I just had to grab one in it. I grabbed one. I dug my finger in his eye while I'm biting his chest at the same time. While the others are kicking me in it. And then all you hear, he's like screaming, "Ah! Ah!" And he goes, "Let me go." And I said, "Tell your boy stop in it and I'll let you go." I'm going to throw your boy strong until I let you go. And he goes, "Ah, boy, stop. I like go up and he goes, "Why would you do that? Why would you bite me?" I said, "Bro, why are you jumping me in it? What kind of nonsense is that?" Survive out here, you get me?
Man.
But I think I was there, you know.
Wallahi,
That was like 15 years ago.
Yeah, that was back in the day. That football pitch is bad things.
I was there that day, mate. I was there.
Was you there?
I think I was there, bro. I think your brother came down as well.
Yeah. He did come down. And that's when they started dispersing.
Yeah, they ran away with me. Yeah, things were very, very different.
It was different, wallahi. So I was saying about was representation. So with Haverstock, like there was no. I guess there's never been a us and them kind of thing growing up. You know, it never was that. It was never that. It was like in Adan, Mado, everyone just vibes in, right? No one would chat shit.
Yeah.
You're black, you're this. No, not once. You know, not once. But at the same time, there was no safe space, you could say, right? You know, when right now you're a minority, you still need that space where you can talk to each other on the level. You know, like yo, listen, the world is like this. You know, this is expected of you. This is required. This like a space where you can chat about real stuff from within your own people. That is very, very important, right? Especially when this whole thing is new to you and migrating here is all new. So in Haverstock, there was one dude, not Mr. I forgot his name, but he wasn't a teacher. I think he was a TA. One hench black brother. You know, this Donny here, wallahi, mashallah, brother, I love that guy, bro. So what he did was he got me and a few other black kids. He goes, listen, guys, I'm doing this after school club for black kids. I want you guys to come, okay? Because we were in year 10, year 11. And we were like, oh, cool. Yeah, basically we called it Black Club, but it was for us, right? And what we would do in those classes, we would discuss like real world issues, you know. Like he put on a movie. Like I remember he put on the movie Juice. Remember the Juice? The movie Juice with Tupac. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put on that movie, and then after the movie. We would discuss like certain things. Was that good? Was that bad? Why was this good? Like have a proper convo, you know, and then relate to what's happening around us, and just make us think on the level kind of thing. We would do certain activities. We'll go to theatre. We do this. We do that, and you show us. Listen, guys, the world is like this. The world is. You're a minority. Unfortunately, it is very normal for you to have to work twice, maybe 3 times as hard as your white counterpart because of the society we live in, you know. And that convo was those kind of conversations were like the realest conversations I've ever had in my life. Like no one spoke to me like that before. Hoya and that. What is Hoya like? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because education is the way out of all of this, right? But there's that disconnect of the reality of our society that education alone is not enough, you know. It's education, but plus going the extra mile, just because you might have that qualification, this guy might have that qualification, but just because your name is very foreign, people are gonna be like, nah, fuck this guy. Let's get Danny over here. He's one of us. So you have to have that extra, I guess, the extra oomph about you. So those kind of real conversations were happening when we were kind of young, and we needed that. And honestly, obviously, growing up teenager, you get up to your madness and you do what you got to do. Growing up here, but the back of your mind,
it's there.
You still remember these kind of things. You still remember that these men are looking at man different because of the skin color, you know. And no matter what, there's gonna be something in the back of their head just because you're different, you know. So that otherism is always gonna be there. So it was a good reminder for us to know that, listen, though this is your country, you're here and you're established here, unfortunately, not everyone sees it that way, you know. So make sure, don't put yourself in a position where I guess other people can chat shit, and give them a reason to be like, rah, well done,
Exactly. As you know what you said about the safe spaces, is it?
It's
Sometimes
very important.
you need that. What is it? Someone that shares a background with you because majority of the teachers when I grew up here absolutely had no connection to what my background is or how my upbringing was. So there's no way you can ever be like, I'm going through this, I'm having this issue. There's automatic a barrier. So you'll never you'll just always think, nah, I could never see myself going to my teacher and saying, you know what, I'm having this issue, I'm having that issue. Because I would think, what the hell would they know? They won't understand me. And when you try and chat to them sometimes, you'll get dismissed like it was like, and then there's that bit of Somali arrogance in all of us in it. So once you get dismissed once, if I ever come to you for anything, you'll see.
Yeah, Somali pride is dangerous, wallah. But I love it. I love that Somali pride. Honestly, it's like, yeah, that Somali pride it's like embedded in the DNA. Like it's incredible, bro. It's like we are some proud nation, bro. I love it.
What you said I resonate a lot with it, especially when, like I said earlier, when you are the other, you get less understanding, sympathy,
Of course.
and empathy towards any issues you may have. It's almost as if it's not just in school. It's in politics. It's in the media at large. I mean, if I'm to use football for example, you see Harry Maguire, the way he's playing. He's under a lot of pressure. He's been playing absolutely rubbish. Any other player that was playing like the way the form he's on, they would have called him out. Pogba gets called out every game for his performances. Harry Maguire, he's got mental health issues.
Yes.
We need to take a step back and analyze the situation.
Yes.
Like you get that benefit of the doubt depending on who you are and where you're from, and the understanding that comes with it.
Exactly.
If you're an other, you won't get that.
Exactly. Let's go. That reminds me of
do everything on yourself by yourself, basically.
That reminds me of let's say you said that Junior, you said that like even though you got that thing from that black guy, the black club, you still got into trouble from time to time, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see, if it's a white middle class kid that's getting into that same trouble, they'll ask, what's wrong? What's going on in his life that's making him act like this? They'll try and investigate it like that. Yeah. But with you, they just say this brother's a criminal. This brother's a troublemaker.
No, they'll say we need to put an end to it before he kills someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like literally, there's that detachment. There's that detachment. They'll take the humanity. Yeah, facts. You're right, and it only happens to anyone who's not from, I guess, Wadankan, right? So, but at the same time, it is what it is. Do you understand?
I think
one thing that I'm against, right? And this is the Somali pride thing, is I'm not, wallahi, man's not a victim. You know them ones? Man's not a fucking victim, wallahi. All right, cool. This is your country. All right, I get it. But man's not a victim, wallahi. Like, don't worry. All right, you do what you gotta do. Look down on me, but wallahi, man's gonna do 10 times, 100 times better than you. Until you have to respect me. Understand? But do your shit, chat shit, but wallahi, one of us, or what? Yeah, I mean, we're gonna work so hard that one of us is like 1,000 of you. So yeah, and how do it? Because how the changes, right? Things change. Not everything's gonna be like this. So if we're pushing that message, right? If now we have like a solid collection of role models, if we have a solid group of role models that we can elevate, wallahi, it's
I think that's exactly the next step. Like you said, not liking to be a victim, but the way we change this is not just complaining about it; it's by getting more of us into teaching positions.
Yeah,
So
that
the future,
representation. Yeah,
our future
absolutely,
kids don't have to go through that bullshit that we went through.
absolutely.
Uh,
Are you saying role models and mentors and that?
yeah, like I think
Role
you know
models,
one
mentors,
thing is,
and you have to be in places of influence, right? So how are you gonna be complaining from outside of the club? They say, right? You can't even get in. What's that song? How are you gonna complain from outside the club? You can't even get in. Can't remember
yeah,
what that clip was,
like it
but
was.
it was.
It's
So
what you want to change the song, but you're outside the club. So are you gonna change it? It's true.
exactly. So if we're gonna complain, like we have to do something about it, right? You learn, you take part, you try to change it, but like complaining and about it from outside and not actively contributing, then nothing's gonna change. Wallah, there's gonna be a bit of tokenism here and there. Yes, elevate this little black kid. Well done, you black boy. And then all of a sudden you
Yeah,
get
but
a
you
little
know,
tattoo of
you
an
know that.
AK-47 on your ankle, and then the whole world don't like you anymore, Mr. Sterling, for example.
Yeah,
Right?
but you can go to Greece. You can go to Greece, have a
You go
fight
to
with the
Greece and
police.
beat them up, and all of a sudden you've got freaking all sorts of
You
mental
got
issues growing up, and
ah,
then we care for you. He's one of us. Leave him alone. Free him.
yeah, but
Secondary school. I've got this article. Yeah, this is more relatable for people. When they first come into the country, innit? So we have here, if you can see it. Can you see it on your screen? Yeah. You have Shukri Abdi, that she was murdered by her school, what is it, classmates, bullying taking place because of her refugee status and what have you. So what happens is, I remember when I first came to the country, this is exactly it. The kids are not curious of like where you're from, or they just like, see you as an outsider, innit? And so they try and bully you. So they try and mask it under you want to be, if you want to chill with us, you need to do this and that. So I have no doubts that they said to this girl, listen, if you want to have a good time like in school, go inside the river, and then they follow it up with, or we'll do such and such to you, or we'll do this, or we'll tell the school this thing about you. Do you see? So I'm asking you, Junior, if you've had any. I know you're like a little bit generation, a little bit thing, and this is like this is not London, is it? So where she grew up, where she was murdered. But in my case, although it wasn't something as extreme as this, I remember. What is it? I remember this one guy. Yeah, he basically, he was a bully of the area, innit? So he would literally bully. He was like in his late teens, yeah. But he would go pick on primary school and beginning of secondary school kids, and he'll make them do things for him. Yeah, for example, he'll go, I'll go in that shop and get me a drink. You ain't got no pee, but you have to go steal it for him. Yeah. So I remember, if you saw this guy, the first thing you need to do is run as fast as you can. Yeah. Otherwise, he'll grab you, and he was like a wedge kind of guy. So strength-wise, he'll absolutely destroy you. So then I remember one day I'm in my house just chilling, playing Super Nintendo, Street Fighter, relaxing. I get a knock on my door, innit? And it's one of my brethrens. And he's like, you coming outside to play? I was like, I'm playing. He goes, come, man, this is going to be good. I was like, all right, cool. Put on my shoes. At the bottom of my flat, the stairs, guess who's there? That forced this brat to come get me. That guy.
Okay.
So I'm like, yo, mug, you know that for doing this. Like, I looked at the guy like, oh, like, yo, sell out. You are a sellout. Bringing this bread to my yard as well. Showing him where my flat is. Waste, man.
Man.
But, come out to Dean to Dan, innit? What happened to him recently, like a couple of years ago, I've seen him, innit? Man is disabled, bro. I think he got in a car crash or something. Like, he walks around disabled, like he can't talk properly and stuff. But yeah, so there's got people like that, innit? That try and take advantage of, and he wasn't doing this to white kids, remember? He was doing this to, like, what is it, black or Asian or what have you? Anyone that's not white, he would do this to, especially in the area. You remember how the demographics of Queen's Crescent was at that time. So I have when I read the story of Shukri Abdi, I had absolutely no doubt that whoever did this to her was guilty as charged, bro. Because I could just imagine it. Like, hey, you need to cross this river, otherwise an ultimatum.
Listen,
So
Shukri Abdi's story is one that resonates with us, actually. You know, is close to home. It's very, very yani wa gabadena. You know, it's and we also those videos of how she was daily, you know, she was like that's like basically a little daughter. Do you understand? Wa gabadena. You know,
she looks like my daughter there, bro. I'm thinking, bro.
I know, subhanallah,
Gotta be-
لكن يعني وير الجنة كجتها at least ما فهمتي. لكن وحويان it's the system that protected the culprits. What the issue is, it's the type of so it brought back those memories of that kind of prick that used to make you run around and do that kind of stuff, and them getting away with what was done to Shukri because it's one of their own. You know what it is? It's one of ours. You know, so no. Let's brush it under the carpet because this little refugee child doesn't have the backing. You know, they don't have a voice they haven't got anything. So Anaga, let's do. Yani, don't worry, you guys fucked up, but we'll try to sort it out. Don't worry, mate. Just we'll brush it under the carpet. We'll change the school name, and then it's all good. Don't worry. Just keep quiet. Just keep your head low. You know, and that's the kind of shit, Mafante, and all these fucking pricks get away with all the time. Do you understand? When things and wallahi, when you have a community that sticks together and that puts the pressure, things happen, right? And wallahi, props to that kind of wallahi. I'm not gonna lie to you, and the pressure is constantly happening. And Markasta, it's 100% the ones who did this, right? They can't يعني if they get away with it in dunya آخر حقيقة لا يعني مقة لا يعني anyway ما فهمتي. So they're not gonna have they can't run away from Ilahi, you know. But what has to come from this, and I believe khair will come from this, is that coverings and things like that will not happen so easily moving forward. They know my Somali, these minority community members. Listen, we can't do them like this. You know, there has to be accountability, and the pressure has to come from within us. And wallahi, yes, wallahi, way that those kind of people, of course, they exist. But
you know what I just remembered? I remembered, that the same guy, he put a knife. I remember it was coming from school, innit? Year 7. And he stopped us, me and another Eritrean guy that was in my class. So he stopped us and put a knife on our throat like this. And people are just walking by. White
people put a freaking knife to your throat.
To our throat like this. Say, bro, where were you? Look, I haven't seen you for a while.
This guy Adan? Was this guy Adan?
He's Adan. I told you he was about 18, 19 at that time. Imagine he's threatening us at year 7 and year 6. Yeah, 6 and 7. 2 years he was messing with us.
Yeah,
Or
I'm not
maybe
gonna lie. That kind of stuff is alien to me growing up in Camden, bro. Because wallahi,
Bro, when we came to this
things have
area,
happened in the past.
let's just say black and Asian or whatever, you don't see them, bro. You
yeah,
never see
there was no halal shop. Do you remember? There wasn't a
there,
single halal shop,
there was nothing. There was nothing.
and everything used to be closed on Sundays. The
Yeah,
whole
like
street-
in order to
That was
survive,
the whole country.
do you know what it reminded me of? In order to survive, yeah. In order to survive, yeah. You know the black segregation days in America. You know when you go to a white area, you're finished.
yeah,
It reminded me of that. Like certain times you don't go out, or certain areas you don't walk past. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're finished. So
Yeah,
the only time
yeah,
they
wallah.
started stopping is when we started, our population started growing. So
Yeah.
it was like, what? Now there's a group
That's how
of
the shit
us. So
works.
if they attracted to us, we can bring a group.
That's how the shit works, bro. Yeah, are you mad?
You see?
And then
How
you deal with the thing. But don't forget, individually, every Mali I knew was a fucking crazy psychopath, bro. He'll fight. Wallahi.
yeah.
Wallah, I can't. Yani, going up to primary school, not fight. Secondary school, fights galore. Year 7, you have to set pace somehow. Year 7, you set pace, and then khalas, wow. Then it comes
Yeah,
down.
7. Yeah, 7. I remember. Actually, I remember this. Yeah, this is the mad thing. Outside my mom's house. You know, Mukhtar will remember it. You might remember it as well. Do you remember? You remember where the GP was? That bit was like free, but they put buildings on it now.
yeah.
It was like a little chain, and people could just park their car right there. Anyway, me and my dad were doing washing his car in it. It was a Saturday, and one white kid from Maitland Park came down, and he said, "Oh, Mo, I heard that you said that you can have me. I heard you can have me."
People used to say, "You can have me." Well, that's
Yeah,
so left now. You know, like you can't say.
I know. And then I was like, you know what? I'm trying to brush him off, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. You can take like, and then after my dad, he's like, yeah, Muhammad, give me the sponge, قرع. And then after I go, Abu, قرع كرا اسكداف. Marcus goes, Maya, sidoo ku iman karaa and say to you, waxan hortaydi as well. I said, okay.
Yeah.
I gave him the sponge. I said, hey, let's do this. Quick. And then after Abba stopped in it, because with me, when I start, I never stop in it until
Exactly.
it's like a switch in me. There's
There's no switch.
I'm a guy. What do they call it? You know that like a Yogi Bear, but when he switches, it becomes a grizzly bear.
You black out, yeah.
Yeah, it's over for me. That's it. And so I took it to that level, innit? Abba made me feel like a bit like inadequate in front of him. It's like, so what can I? Boom. And that existed. Abba used to come. Like I remember, when I told you have to walk a long way from primary school. You couldn't come through straight into Queen's Crescent from real primary school. You have to come around where the Simpson Cycle is, like the main road, Malden Road.
Yeah.
Because if you come through those look ends, yeah, that's where this bro would take advantage of you. So I came that day. I'm like, bonnet, man. I'm taking the risk. I went through that bit. These breads came out nowhere in it with water guns, spraying, man. Yeah? And I'm just like trying to walk as fast as possible through them. And then my dad, he saw me. He goes, what the hell? He started chasing them. He threw his car keys at them. Well, I was mad. But yeah, so these things used to happen, and I can imagine it. Shukri Abdi in that area, like proper, like
just going through the madness. Yeah, well,
not much of her people. Yeah, not much of her people there, and so she feels alone, bro. And there's no other alternative. There's no one to there's no support structure to say, what? Who did that to you? Come.
Yeah, but they did complain. She complained. The family complained several times. Nothing was done about it.
bro. Of course, nothing will be done about it because it's not. There's no one there to back.
People will be accountable, inshallah.
For example, let's say if I complained about those, who would I complain to about those guys in the area? There's no one to complain to, bro.
Yeah, but the thing is,
there's no
look, your family, your community should have your back. That's the only people that can do something for you.
Yeah, but the community, all they do is deal with the girl tomorrow. So next thing you know, the man get joke up and that's it. And
that's the thing,
which is the case.
That's the thing with the
problem.
Somali community. It's like how I dagal in it. Like it's like
that's what we know, bro. Which is a problem. You know, it's like.
But that's the only solution. Then I think you should follow it, bro. I'm not advocating violence, but
no. But if she, I'll tell you one thing. If she fought, she's outnumbered. She's always going to be outnumbered.
Not with your community. If you go to your community,
she has no community there. What community is in Bury, fam?
Yeah.
Who's in Bury? Like so what is it like? What is it? And I know like the heartache her mum is going through because her mum is thinking her mum is thinking, why did I let my kid go to the school? Why did I let her go to the school?
Sad, bro.
And I can just
and the case, the way it was treated by the police was even more shocking. Like
exactly.
There was did you hear about that huge protest that they were having for her case? I think it was a UN organized one.
I'm gonna go.
There was one that happened. I remember.
Who organized it?
I have no idea who organized it. I remember it was going around on Twitter. But so these things happen in it, and that's why it speaks to the importance of us or people from our community being in these positions. So imagine she had like there was a Somali teacher in her school. She could easily open up to him. This and that is happening to me.
Exactly.
These kids and then he would take it like as a personal personal insult, innit? Like,
and
what?
Yeah. One thing that Mahan Kudela, one thing that Mahan Kudela love about the young generation is the inclusivity. You know, of course, we're still of that old generation, so we're very, very skeptical and what have you. Whereas the new generation, they are alien to the Anaga. You know, they have no idea the shit that we've been through, right? Or the things that we may have come across. So they go in there very, 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 you know, what was it say? Fairy-eyed, but which is good. And to be honest, society, whether we like it or not, has changed, you know, for the better. You know, it is definitely night and day from what it used to be, and the representation has increased. We have people that look like us in positions that weren't in those kind of positions when we were growing up, and it's only going to get better. So, wallahi Ronti, the positive takeaway is how the things can only get better, inshallah. So there's hope.
Inshallah.